night, noon and morning. Tasty biscuit, just can't resist it. Tea time, call and night, noon and morning. Tasty biscuit, just can't resist it.
You can dunk it, you lick it, you taste it, you spin it, you twist it, you can mix them all together. It don't get any better. You can dunk it, you lick it, you taste it, you spin it, you twist it, you can mix them all together. It don't get any better. Anytime, whatever time, it's tea time. Whatever time, it's tea time. Snack on a delicious tea time biscuit anytime. It's tea time.
What has you so happy?
My home internet just got upgraded, and I didn't even have to pay for it.
What? Which network you have?
Flow! Now I can get the fastest fiber internet in St. Kitts and Nevis for the lowest price.
Fastest internet for the lowest price? What's the catch?
No catch, my friend. 100 megabits per second for just $135 a month. With Flow, you truly get the best internet experience around.
Switch to Flow for the fastest fiber internet at the lowest price. Visit a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
TDC for service, TDC for quality. TDC your company, TDC for service, TDC for quality. TDC your company. Together we succeed, building our strong community, pressing onward to our destiny. One love, one family. Together we succeed. Let the whole world see. Yes, this is 50.
Good morning, St. Kitts and Nevis, and welcome to Voices right here on WIN FM 98.9. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. It is Wednesday, March 29, 2023. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. You can also check us out on our social media platforms, WINNmedia SKN. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Just type in WINNmedia SKN. And of course, visit our website at www.winmediaskn.com for the latest in what's happening in St. Kitts and Nevis, across the Caribbean region, and internationally. This is Voices for Wednesday, March 29, 2023. I'm Devon Cornelius. All right, good morning, guys. I trust that you guys had a very restful evening. It is Wednesday. It's a new day. There is a lot to do. Thank you so much for joining the program for today. We want to hear from you. Of course, the numbers to call are 466-0989 or 662-0989. That's 466-0989 or 662-0989. An opportunity for you to hear to share your views and opinions on matters of national interest, things happening here in St. Kitts and Nevis. The major talking point or the major topic, or what's in the minds of many people in the country right now, is the surge in crime. The surge in crime, more specifically, the murders taking place in the country. There was a murder that took place on March 27th. According to the police, according to a statement from the police, that individual has been identified as Bernal White, alias BJ. He's 32. He was 32 years old, from Fort Thomas Road, McKnight. He was fatally shot on March 27 at about 9 p.m. in the McKnight community. According to a statement from the police, officers responded to a report of a shooting incident and visited an alley between Central Fines Avenue and Upper Malone Avenue, McKnight, where they observed the motionless body of White, who appeared to have multiple gunshot wounds about his body. The police shared that White was in the company of a female inside his motor vehicle, PB 4850, that's 4850, on Central Street, when he was accosted by two masked gunmen who fired several shots at him and his female companion. He exited his vehicle and ran down Central Fines Avenue, but was chased by the gunmen, who shot him several times about his body. His female companion made good her escape and drove White's vehicle to the Bastia police station and made a report. White was pronounced dead at the scene by the district medical officer, Dr. Odantan, at about 10:30 p.m. Investigations are ongoing, according to the police, and they are appealing to anyone with information on this incident to contact the Violent Crime Unit at 467-1886 or 467-188-1887 or 1888, or the Bastia Police Station at 465-2241. That's 465-2241. People have been sharing their views and opinions on the recent murders that have taken place in the country. I think, on Saturday, yes, it was Saturday, we had a double murder. So people have been sharing their views and opinions on the recent killings that we've been having in the country. We know it is never good news for anyone when we lose a member of our community. The police held a press conference yesterday. They spoke briefly to the situation. Of course, the other issue of national security, where a boat was. Let me pull up the actual report just to be on the. I don't want to share any wrong information. My apologies, but the issue of the national security and the boat with the migrants, they also shared information on that. But basically, coming out of the press conference with the police yesterday, they are doing everything in their power to bring these criminal, or to detect and to reduce crime in the country. Of course, this requires the assistance of the community, and if the police are to get the assistance of the community, then I think would definitely see a reduction in crime. It is rather unfortunate. Now, with the increase or surge in murders in the country, one of the questions that have been posed is, what is the status of the peace program? Is the program still fully operational? My question would be, has any changes or have any changes been made to the program since the new administration has taken place then? Is the program still operational? What are the changes that have been made to the program? Everybody know what the peace program was about, essentially, and during that program we enjoyed a period of calmness and, let me say, some sort of normalcy in the country. Things were quiet and peaceful. So the question, what is the status of that program? Is that program still fully operational? Is it still ongoing? We understand that the Prime Minister will be holding a press conference tomorrow, Thursday, and so we hope that they would be able to address that situation tomorrow. It is 16 minutes past the 11 o'clock hour here in the studios of WINNFM 98.9. We'll take a short break to give a shout out to our sponsors, and when we come back, we will take your calls at 466-0989 or 662-0989. Let's take this break and we'll be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us. TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
You hear that? That's unlimited WhatsApp and Facebook messaging with Flow's unlimited super combo prepaid plan.
Music to my ears. I can do everything in it?
Yeah, all you want. Have endless fun when you activate a 7-day plan for just $25. Enjoy 10 gigs of endless data for all your pics, GIFs, stickers, voice notes, voice calls, docs, and even video calls. Do all you want with unlimited WhatsApp and Facebook messaging on Flow's unlimited super combo prepaid plans. Switch to Flow today. Conditions apply.
So check it out.
Rams is for you and me. Giving back to community. Rams is for you and me. Better for your family. Better service, better price, better value, better choice. Rewarding you for loyalty. Rams is for you and me. Better price and quality.
Welcome back to Voices right here on WinFM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. The phone lines are open and we are taking your calls at 466-0989 or 662-0989. That's 466-0989 or 662-0989. This is Voices for Wednesday, March 29, 2023. Thank you so much for joining the conversation for today. Welcome back to the program. This is Voices on WINFM 98.9. The phone lines are open. You can call us at 466-0989 or 662-0989. I'm on the topic of the recent surge in murders happening here in St. Kitts and Nevis. I think we are at murder number 7 for 2023. I stand to be corrected, but that was the last figure that I got. But you know, it is never a good thing whenever we have murders taking place in our country, and people for the most part enjoy when the place is quiet and peaceful and calm. And it is never good news when you hear that there has been a fatal shooting, because that is another family that has to not just prepare to lay their loved one to rest, but they also have to deal with that pain and that agony of losing that loved one. And sometimes you don't even find the closure because you're not able to, you don't know who the killer is or was. So it's a very unfortunate situation. And so condolences to those who are mourning at this very difficult time. Of course, the question that will come from the general public is what would be the response from the authorities, whether it be government or police. Whenever we have these unfortunate incidents take place in the country, the first question is, what is the government doing? What is the police doing? And sometimes people take offense and say, well, you know, it was not the government or the police who told them to go and kill each other. But that cannot be the attitude that you have. While, yes, that is the fact. Nobody told them to go and, yeah, but that cannot be the attitude that you have to it. The question would always come from the community. What will be the response? What are we going to do as a community? What are we going to do as a people to address this situation? Are we going to allow it to get out of control to the point where our streets are no longer safe? To the point where our communities are no longer safe? To the point where we no longer feel safe in our communities? Are we going to allow it to get to that point? And I'm using we because I don't want to just throw it on the police alone or throw it on the government alone. But I say we as a community, as a village, as a country. What are we going to do in response to these activities or unfortunate incidents taking place in our country? That is the big question that many people have asked. We know recently there was a meeting with the different ministers of national security from across the Caribbean region. They met with the RSS, that is the Regional Security System, and The crux of that meeting was, addressing crime and violence in CARICOM member states, and how do they strengthen the not just security locally, but how do they strengthen their borders? How do they strengthen national security? In St. Lucia, they had a situation there where the Prime Minister had to seek the assistance of the RSS to bring the situation under control. Because it got to a point where the communities no longer were safe. People were not feeling safe anymore. I read a news item coming out of St. Lucia that suggests that a school and church and other facilities in that specific area had to be closed because of the surge in criminal activity taking place in that area. And so it comes back to it brings me back to the question, what are we going to do as a people? What are we going to do as a community to respond to these very unfortunate incidents? The situation in St. Lucia was described as security there deteriorating. People were terrified. People were worried. Innocent people wondering if they were going to be caught in the crossfire. And it's a legitimate question for one to ask. You're minding your business and there's a shootout happening, and you have absolutely nothing to do with that incident. But perhaps you were in the wrong place at the wrong time. And so that's the $1 million question today. What are we as a people going to do to respond to the surge in criminal activity, specifically murders here in St. Kitts and Nevis? What are we going to do? The phone lines are open. We want to hear from you, the listeners of 98.9. Call us at 466-0989 or 662-0989. That's 466-0989 or 662-0989. We are also live on our social media platforms, so you can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. Just go on and type in WINNMedia SKN, and all of the information will come up for you. This is Voices for Wednesday, March 29, 2023. Just a reminder, the Agri Expo takes place tomorrow in Nevis, March 30th and 31st, 2023, at the El Quemido T. Willett Park. It is basically an all-day event, and so you can go on out and get grade A quality products, crops, all sorts of things. They have great food, great entertainment, a good atmosphere. So I'm encouraging each and every one of you to support the Department and the Ministry of Agriculture in the Agri Expo 2023 at the E.T. Willett Park in Charlestown. They have a number of great entertainment acts lined up. So go on out, to those of you who are in St. Kitts, and tomorrow is going to be a quiet day for you, or Friday is going to be a quiet day for you. I'm encouraging you to head on over to Nevis to enjoy the Agri Expo. Trust me, you will not regret it. You can only regret it if you do not participate. So I am encouraging each and every one of you to participate in that activity for tomorrow. And I want to share with you as well the Southeast Peninsula accident. Motorist charged for dangerous driving. Let me just pull up that information for you. So you guys may recall a few weeks ago there was an incident over by the Southeast Peninsula where a tourist lost the half of her leg. It got cut off because of an accident, and the deputy police commissioner gave some information about that. The deputy police commissioner, who is Cromwell Henry, shared developments about the traffic accident that occurred on March 5th, so almost a month ago, at the Southeast Peninsula. He said, quote, in terms of the accident where the visitor lost her leg at the Southeast Peninsula a few weeks ago, the visitors, both the young lady and her husband, have since left the Federation for medical attention in Miami. The driver of the vehicle, he has been arrested and formally charged for dangerous driving, and this matter is pending a court hearing, said Henry at the police press conference on Tuesday. The accident involved motor car PA 1499, owned by Adrian Tuckett of St. Peter's, but was being driven by McKevin Williams of Wade's Garden, and a scooter R106 owned by Sunny Blue Scooter Rental, which was being driven by Marco Zitek from Slovenia. Zitek's wife, Stasa, was the pillion rider. Investigations revealed that Williams lost control of the car and collided with the scooter. Mr.'s right leg, the wife's right leg, was severed during the accident. Both visitors were transported to the General Hospital here in St. Kitts via ambulance. Zitek received minor injuries and was discharged, while Mitster was warded at the intensive care unit in stable condition. The couple was on tour to St. Kitts on a cruise vessel, Celebrity Silhouette. That is the update on that. So they have since left the Federation, and the wife receiving medical treatment in Miami, and the person involved, the other party involved, has since been arrested and charged. This is Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. We'll take a break to acknowledge our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation for today.
Found the sound 98.9 WINNMedia FM.
What has you so happy?
My home internet just got upgraded, and I didn't even have to pay for it.
What? Which network you have?
Flow! Now I can get the fastest fiber internet in St. Kitts and Nevis for the lowest price.
Fastest internet for the lowest price? What's the catch?
No catch, my friend. 100 megabits per second for just $135 a month. With Flow, you truly get the best internet experience around.
Switch to Flow for the fastest fiber internet at the lowest price. Visit a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
Tea time, calling night, noon and morning. Tasty biscuit, just can't resist it. Tea time, calling night, noon and morning. Tasty biscuit, just can't resist it.
You can dunk it, you lick it, you taste it, you spin it, you twist it, you can mix them all together. It don't get any better. You can dunk it, you lick it, you taste it, you spin it, you twist it, you can mix them all together. It don't get any better. Anytime, whatever time. It's tea time. Whatever time. It's tea time. Snack on a delicious tea time biscuit anytime. It's tea time.
Breathe easy. With the holidays just over, and lots of fun spent on holiday supplies, activities and gifts, how are your finances? If your answer wasn't favorable, TDC Financial Services is here to help you breathe easy. Up to $40,000 unsecured to consolidate your loans and even get a little something in your hand. No need to worry. Visit our social media pages or call 465-6516 or 469-5430 to learn more on how you can breathe easy with TDC Financial Services Limited. Terms and conditions apply.
Please note that the TDC Financial Services Company Limited, St. Kitts branch, is now located on Central Street in Bastyr, opposite the Norwich Holiness Church.
Welcome back to Voices right here on Win FM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. This is Voices for Wednesday, March 29, 2023. Thank you so much for joining the program. Welcome back. For those of you who are just joining the conversation, we're on the topic of the surge in crime here in St. Kitts and Nevis. We want to hear from you, your thoughts, your views, and opinions on the situation. Call us at 466-0989 or 662-0989. That's 466-0989 or 662-0989. You know, so the question is still there. What are we gonna do? Let's hear from the callers. We'll head to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Hey, caller, you are on the air. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. And you?
Okay. I'm good, giving God thanks for life and good health. And the ability to call you today and get your phone up there. Now, the crime situation, yes, it's serious. However, I do not want persons to blame the police, because the police is not at fault. What we have to do is to look at ourselves, because it is people from society who are committing the crime, and sometimes people from society might have an idea, might know, but for whatever reason, do not share that information to the police. However, I would like to use this opportunity to call upon our citizens, lower nationals, everyone you think they need it. Solve differences peacefully. One way or the other, somebody's going to get hurt. Or, if you hurt someone, possibility or likelihood of prison is there. Not only that, you might have reprisals, and we do not want that. Peace, 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 peace. I know even those persons who might commit something like that, I sure when they sit down, they reflect. So reflect before you commit a crime. Especially these ones that could have a negative impact on our country. Because, Devon, I don't know if you realize, there was a document, there was something circulated, one of the 10 most, I think the most dangerous countries in the world to live. And did you not think that Nevis made that list? And, yeah, you know, it's sad for us to make that list. So I want us to come out from that list. So I'm talking to everyone under the hearing of my voice. So let us solve things peaceably and think before. The police is there to make a report. There's an issue. Take it to the court. That's what the court is there for, to be the arbitrator. So I hope my little 5 cents here, Devon, will help lend some encouragement to persons to really turn away from doing wrong, because they should remember as well, when they commit these things, their families also grieve sometimes because what happened. My loved one going to go to prison or whatever. So let us solve these things peacefully, and let us be friendly to each other. That's all I want to contribute this morning, Devon. So thank you very much, and may God continue to bless you.
All right, caller, thank you so much for your contribution and call to this program. This is Voices right here on Win FM 98.9 for Wednesday, March 29, 2023. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much again, caller. We are on the topic of the crime here in St. Kitts and Nevis. on the rise. We had a murder on the 27th, and just before that, we had a double murder on the 25th. I don't take it that people generally are attempting to blame the police or are blaming the police. Not saying that there are people who are not. You're going to have those who are saying, as soon as there's a criminal activity, oh, it is the police fault. No, absolutely not. But I for one, I'm not blaming the police for the situation. I think the what this needs is an all of society approach. And any police officer would tell you that responding to crime is an all of society approach. And so it would have to include the government. It would have to include specific members or just members of the community and the various villages, private and public sector, you name it, in order to respond to crime. Do I believe that the police can do more? Yes. Do I believe that there can be more transparency, accountability, integrity? Yes. I believe so. I believe there should be. But will we ever see it? Those are the questions that we must ask as well. And those are the hard questions, and maybe to some extent the uncomfortable questions that nobody really wants to face or respond to. But this is the question that we must ask: how do we respond to this situation? I know oftentimes we would say members of the community, as I've said it, should assist the police in their investigations. I was listening to the press conference yesterday when a member from the media basically posed the question of, training and professional training in how police officers would deal with members of the public. Don't get me wrong, I'm not here to paint all of them black, because there's some very good policemen and women, but then you have the very few who make it bad for everyone else. You have the very few who would do something and the entire force, the entire team has to go down with the decision that that person has made. And that should not be. That really should not be. But it brings me back to the question, what do we do? How do we respond? How do we respond to crime? No one has the answer. That's how I see it. You may be able to reduce it and bring it down, but of course, you can't stop crime. It's boy, I don't even know. I have to choose my words very, very, very wisely. But no one can stop it. No one can stop crime. We can reduce it. We can increase our detection rate. We are tired and fed up of hearing about the launch of investigations, and then you never hear anything else about it again. That is not good. Perhaps that is one of the reasons why members of the public are so reluctant in participating or giving information. You never know. This is Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. The phone lines are open and we are taking your calls at 466-0989 or 662-0989. That is 466-0989 or 662-0989. We are also live on our social media platforms. You can check us out at WINNMedia SKN at our Facebook, Instagram, and these various Twitter and these various accounts. That's the question. How do we respond? What do we see? That's the very important question that we must ask ourselves. It is 15 minutes before the 11 o'clock hour. Of course, we break at 12 for the headline news. And when we come back, we will continue the conversation. I want to use this opportunity to congratulate some 7 women in Nevis who were recognized for breaking barriers and closing the gender gap in various sectors. So the Gender Affairs Department in Nevis recognized 7 women who have been making significant contributions to the island of Nevis in various sectors. The International Women's Day, Women's Month awardees are Diana Brown for the category of Digital Economy, Kenesha Williams in the category of Green Economy, Melissa Allen in the category of the Blue Economy, and Tamesia Lestrade in the category of Orange Economy. Deslyn Williams Johnson was the recipient of the Minister's Award for the Empowerment and Protection of Families. Mrs. Kimberly Evelyn Lazarus received the award in the category of Women in Non-Traditional Roles, while Dr. Kamara Louisi received the award for the category of Women in Science. 2 other individuals, Kristen Springett and Dr. Tivan Brown, were certified at the 2023-2024 Gender Champions. Springett and Brown will be attached with the Department of Gender Affairs, Nevis, for 1 year, beginning March 1st, 2023. Now, according to the Department of Gender Affairs, they are a great part of our family and will be seen with us as we advocate for gender reform in responsiveness initiatives in health and working with neurodivergent individuals. Now, this is the 2nd year of the Gender Champions initiative. The Gender Champions were Joy Napier and Keswin Archibald, who were instrumental in volunteerism and outreach with the Department of Gender Affairs. Let's acknowledge our sponsors and we'll be right back.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Hear that? That's unlimited WhatsApp and Facebook messaging with Flow's unlimited super combo prepaid plan.
Music to my ears. I can do everything in it?
Yeah, all you want. Have endless fun when you activate a 7-day plan for just $25. Enjoy 10 gigs of endless data for all your pics, GIFs, stickers, voice notes, voice calls, docs, and even video calls. Do all you want with unlimited WhatsApp and Facebook messaging on Flow's unlimited super combo prepaid plans. Switch to Flow today. Conditions apply. So check it out.
TDC for service, TDC for quality. TDC your company, TDC for service, TDC for quality. TDC your company. Together we succeed, building our strong community, pressing onward to our destiny. One love, one family, together we succeed. Let the whole world see. Yes, this is 50.
Welcome back to the conversation. Welcome back to the conversation right here on Voices on WINNFM 98.9. It's Wednesday, March 29, 2023. I'm Devon Cornelius. All right, just before I went for the quick ad break, there I was speaking to the 7 women in Nevis who were recognized as part of International Women's Awareness Month. So I've just come to say congratulations to these women on their accomplishment. They have done well. For this year's celebration of International Women's Day, it was celebrated under the theme Digital Innovation and Technology for Equality. You will notice that I said digital instead of digital, because how they have digital spelled is DIGIIT, capital ALL, digital. And so congratulations to them on their accomplishment. They have made significant contributions to our community. And generally, I see this as saying thank you to these women for their community involvement that resulted in the development of the community involvement that resulted in the development of our nation, the development of our country. And the Gender Affairs Department over there, Nevis, saw it fit to say thank you, saw it fit to recognize them for their contribution. Congratulations to them. We will break for the headline news at 12, and when we come back, we will continue the conversation right here on 98.9. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Devon.
Good morning.
Good morning to the people of the Federation of Think It's Nevis. I would like to make a comment in regards to the women who were recognized by the Gender Affairs Department.
Go ahead.
And I'd like to say congratulations to all of the women. This is certainly women's time. If you pay close attention, the women who've been elevated in these times, starting with the first female Governor General, and of course the several senators and women in politics that we've had come on board in the recent year or two. And to the ladies that were recognized, 2 of them in particular, I want to say congratulations and kudos to, because I know life has not been easy for them. They have had challenges, serious challenges. Kimberly, Evelyn, and Tamisha Lestrade have faced some serious challenges in the recent times. And so to be able to accomplish this feat while going through tumultuous times is recognition in itself that these are strong women and should be congratulated in a huge way for their accomplishment. Wow, what can I say? I want to say that to those who saw it fit to do this, I want to say thank you so much.
Right.
So many times we take the little things for granted, and this is certainly a time when we all are going through tough times in life, but when someone takes the time out to recognize what you're doing and how well you're doing it, and to put your face on the forefront of what is happening right now, I say thank you to those who took on this challenge to recognize this woman. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much. From one woman to another, Thank you so much. Devon?
Yes, caller. I'm listening to you.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah.
There's so much that is happening in our life and times right now. While I've got you on the phone, may I ask you, are there any updates to what happened yesterday with that vessel coming out of Antigua? And I'm not clear where they were heading to, but those people, especially the ones that have gone missing, are there any updates on that?
I don't have it in front of me, but my colleague was working on something in time for the headline news. So we should have something in the headline news. But the short answer is yes, but I don't have it exactly in front of me.
Okay, all right. It's so sad. It's so sad, especially those people who came all the way from Africa and to have come into the Caribbean and lost their lives, not having accomplished what they were trying to accomplish. It's heartbreaking. It's definitely heartbreaking. But Devon, it seems to me we need to keep our eyes across the waters and across the region as to what is happening.
We need to.
We had some Haitians come through here some time back, and I think they're still on the island. What is really happening? Are we human trafficking across the Caribbean? Because going from Antigua to the U.S. Virgin Islands is not easy. And if you've been following the reports on the weather, there's a lot of high tide around. So it's taken a big risk in trying to move human beings across the Caribbean seas like this with these high tides. I am to hope that these are not the initial, this is not the initial stages of large portions of human trafficking. People will take advantage of anything when they see it, the opportunity. And I say to the people across the region, just be very, very careful.
Carla, I agree with where you're coming from. We have had, I want to say, too many instances of these things happening. This is probably more than the third time we've had a situation with something similar like this. And so I take where you're coming from when you said our people need to keep an eye out, especially around our waters. And so we hope that the relevant authorities are listening in terms of Coast Guard and police, defense force, to ensure that they are doing proper surveillance in our waters, and that people are not just hopping on boats and traveling across the Caribbean illegally and then coming here to St. Kitts and Nevis, and then we take them in. We can't be seen as a safe haven. We can't.
Exactly. I don't know that I agree, and I'm saying this very carefully, because until you're in that situation, you don't know the pain that these people are going through. But I don't know that I agree with what happened the other day with the court and them being granted time to stay here. Because if you stop and think about it, and if I am understanding what happened correctly, they left Dominica to go shopping in St. Martin. If something happened here with the boat and they ended up here, why not continue on to St. Martin?
Right.
What happened with the St. Martin idea? Did that just fall along the wayside with the boat itself? I mean, what was really going on? And why are we now saddled with these people here? Because what's going to happen, it seems to me, is that this is going to invite more and more people to do this. And we are in for the possibility of listening and hearing people coming in here on a regular basis. Is that what we want? It seems like we have to be very, very careful with those decisions.
Carla, I hear you. I agree with you where you're coming from. We're going to have to take a break, however, for our headline news. And when we come back, we'll be continuing the conversation. All right? Thank you so much for your contribution.
Thank you for taking my call, Devon.
All right, take care. This is Voices right here on Win FM 98.9. We'll take a break now for the headline news, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation right here on 98.9. The phone lines will be open, so you can call us at 466-0989 or 662-0989. Let's take this break, and we will be right back.
You found the sound. 98.9. Win FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, Carib Brewery, and NHC.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
With over a century of perfection behind the Mackeson name, a smooth blend with perfect balance and richness, it's no wonder Mackeson Triple Stout has a legacy of perfection. Enjoyed the world over. Introducing our new look with the same great taste. Mackeson. All hail the king.
Please drink responsibly.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Dalil Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
NHC is helping you to pay less in 2023. Having difficulties keeping up to date with your mortgage? Make an appointment to speak with your account manager today and learn how you can pay less. Our refinancing program will give you the opportunity to pay as low as $300 a month. Call us 466-4701 or visit our office at East Park Range. Pay less. Worry less with NHC refinancing program that's designed with you in mind. Offer valid from February 1st to June 30th.
With the WINNFM Midday News, I am Kevon Brown.
I am Devon Cornelius.
Our top stories.
Police investigating sudden death of British visitor.
Callers weigh in on the government's approach to public infrastructure maintenance and repairs. 7 women in Nevis recognized for breaking barriers and closing the gender gap. Concerns continue to mount as 16 people remain missing from vessel that capsized between St. Kitts and Antigua. Internationally, external pressure will not stop Taiwan from engaging with the world. President Tsai Ing-wen said as she left for the United States, hitting a defiant note after China threatened retaliation if she met U.S. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
Now the details.
The police are investigating the sudden death of 60-year-old Andrew Evans, a tourist visiting St. Kitts and Nevis from Wales in the United Kingdom via Britannia Cruises. Sometime after 10 a.m. on March 27, 2023, the police received a report from the St. Kitts Nevis Coast Guard and responded at their base as a result. Upon arrival, detectives met with members of the Coast Guard who escorted them to the pier where they saw the lifeless body of Evans dressed in a short blue and black pant lying on his back. Investigations revealed that Evans was part of a group of visitors on a snorkeling excursion at Peninsula Cove on the southeast peninsula when he disappeared temporarily and was later seen floating along the coastline. He was rescued into a dinghy and administered CPR without success. The Coast Guard responded and transported Evans to the Coast Guard base, where emergency medical technicians were waiting. He was pronounced dead at the base by the district medical officer, Dr. Warner. An autopsy will be performed to determine the exact cause of death. Investigations into the matter are ongoing.
Public infrastructure maintenance and repairs is a constant in any government's budget. According to Volume 2 of the 2023 budget estimates under the capital projects for the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, Energy, Utilities and Domestic Transport, road work is a substantial part of the ministry's plan. Some of the road works include the General Road Improvement Project with an expected cost of $3 million in 2023. Old Road Rehabilitation has $4.9 million allotted for 2023. The Island Main Road upgrades have $2 million in the estimates. St. Peter's and F.T. Williams Highway has an overall estimated cost of $10.6 million, 7 of which is expected to be spent in 2023. George Gilbert, a representative from the Public Works Department, was on the March 27th broadcast of Island Tea during the Traffic Talk segment to update the public on impending road work in the Market Street area in Bastia. Callers into the program expressed concerns about the overall planning for roadworks, whether it be the effectiveness of notifying the public or consultation with other infrastructure stakeholders.
Has you weighed into factors like there are water pipes that would have been umpteens of years old and would have need probably modernized, upgrading in terms of the plastic facility, which is much more durable. We know the urgency. We understand. We appreciate the urgency. But you are going to resurface the road tomorrow, and then the following day, 2 days after, that old metal pipe that was there for 50 years or more would spring a leak. And then, lo and behold, you will cut open the road again and retard pedestrians from using the road in the way it should or ought to be used after a new resurfacing. Have you weighed all of that into the equation?
Another caller suggested a need for more advanced planning when maintaining public infrastructure.
But then it suggests to me that we don't have sufficient advanced planning, because if, say, there is a larger plan that we will be resurfacing certain streets in May and another one in June and another one in July, it means that the different departments could coordinate. But when you send the water department a notice with less than 2 weeks to say we want to resurface a certain road, it means that they don't have time to organize themselves to do this work because they have other plans of their own. And to the officer who said, we put out the notice about the road closure on Friday, question is, when did the Public Works Department decide they will be resurfacing that road? And the moment they make that decision, they know they should go out. The idea that it was on the radio or it was on social media, well, you have many people whose lives are too busy to be paying attention to these things. And whenever we are doing major works like that, you put a large notice on the street that will be affected, telling motorists to use that street. Starting on March 27th, there will be works on this road. So the people who are directly affected get the information.
Gilbert mentioned that the other stakeholders are notified about when work would be carried out and would determine if they would use that opportunity to do any maintenance or repairs. Another caller expressed the need for road work leading up to the pier at Reggae Beach, as that is one of the hubs for travel between St. Kitts and Nevis.
One of my pet peeves that I'm having is at Reggae Beach. And I would like if you guys to deposit some of that all asphalt y'all dig up to go over on the road towards the water taxi pier. I know everyone, I'm sure, I know a good bit of you have traveled to Nevis on that water taxi. Driving from roughly Spice Mill area all the way to the pier is atrocious. It's been like that for how many years now? Every single body from the top of the food chain to the bottom of the food chain, if you understand what I'm saying, have driven and used that service. I've seen many people pop their bumpers going across there, and when rain comes, the craters get deeper. And this is coming from somebody who uses that area every single day, multiple times. And it's not getting any better. I've heard so many excuses from the top of the food chain all the way to the bottom why this can't be done, that can't be done. All I'm asking is public work could go over there, spend one day with the grader and just level it off. I'm not even asking for it to be asphalted or anything. Just the road needs leveling off. So if you are consult with the traffic department and get it done, please. It's been like this for almost 20 years and nobody seems to hear, and everybody uses the facility. And the numbers of people have been using over there has skyrocketed over the last couple of years.
Gilbert said he appreciated responses from the public such as these, as it helps the department better understand the people's needs. He also promised to do all he can to address the callers' concerns in the future. The Department of Gender Affairs Nevis recognized 7 women who have been making significant contributions to the island of Nevis in varying sectors. The International Women's Month awardees 2023 are Ms. Diana Brown for the category of Digital Economy, Ms. Kenesha Lewis in the category of Green Economy, Ms. Melissa Allen in the category of Blue Economy, and Mrs. Tamesia Lestrade in the category of Orange Economy. Mrs. Deslyn Johnson was the recipient of the Minister's Award for the Empowerment and the Protection of Families. Mrs. Kimberly Evelyn Lazarus received the award in the category of Women in Non-Traditional Roles, while Dr. Kamara Luisi received the award in the category of Women in Science. 2 other individuals, Ms. Kristan Springett and Dr. Tivon Brown, were certified as the 2023-2024 Gender Champions. Springett and Brown will be attached with the Department of Gender Affairs Nevis for 1 year beginning March 1st, 2023. According to the Department of Gender Affairs, the duo are part of our family and will be seen with us as we advocate for gender reform in gender-responsive initiatives in health and working with neurodivergent individuals. This is the 2nd year of the Gender Champions Initiative. The Gender Champions were Joy Napier and Kesron Archibald, who were instrumental in volunteerism and outreach with the Department of Gender Affairs. At the award ceremony held on Saturday, March 25th, 2023, guest speaker Ms. Yakira Elliott, a teenager involved in technology, more specifically a St. Kitts Nevis Robotics Association member, expressed that women are capable of making significant contributions across all sectors.
Technology simplified is using our scientific knowledge to achieve some specific purpose. In today's society, women are stereotypically considered less handy than men. But I am of the firm belief that women are just as capable of doing everything that men are capable of doing. Women can bring a fresh approach and offer unique perspectives to meet challenges, solve problems, and design of new products. Women just have more imagination than men.
Meanwhile, Elliot concluded her presentation by addressing the importance of girls walking in the example of women who have or are making significant contributions in the area of technology.
I will conclude by stressing on the importance for girls to see and know of other women involved in and excelling in technology. This lets them picture themselves there in the future, and it helps them to see what they can truly aspire towards that dream. A person is only limited by their own imagination.
International Women's Day is celebrated annually on March 8th. The theme for this year, 2023, is Digital Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality. In regional news, concerns continue to mount as 16 people remain missing from vessel that capsized between St. Kitts and Antigua. That report and more from Carib Update.
Now for the details. There are still no further details about the 3 people who reportedly died after an overloaded boat capsized in the Caribbean Sea on Tuesday, close to St. Kitts and Nevis. More than 24 hours later, there are also no updates about the 16 people who were said to be still missing. The boat was believed to be carrying 32 passengers on an apparent trip from Antigua to St. Thomas before it overturned. A German-based man from Cameroon told Observer Radio in Antigua that he thinks his brother was on the vessel.
He left yesterday on a boat which was supposed to take him to the USA, and I don't know what happened. I'm very concerned about any information. I don't know whether he's dead or alive.
Authorities are working on the theory that most of the people on the ill-fated vessel were West Africans who had arrived in Antigua late last year on controversial charters. In a statement late Tuesday, Antigua's Prime Minister Gaston Brown said his government will launch a full investigation into the circumstances of what he described as this unlawful and dreadful affair, including the involvement of any citizens and residents. He said his country will uphold its international obligations against human trafficking and illegal migration, including enhancing Antigua's cooperation with regional and hemispheric partners. Opposition leader Jamal Pringle called the development unfortunate.
We have been hearing and trying to get a grip on what transpired, try to understand it from a standpoint where, who would have authorized this, because I heard it left our shores. What I also heard it, 3 persons were supposed to be on board and not 30. It's unfortunate that a lot of the persons were persons from Africa, more so the Cameroon.
Pringle says his party will continue to insist on a full investigation into the charter flights, which is now seen as a prelude to this week's disaster.
Government must accept its responsibility to give the people the information necessary.
Grenada has named Tali Francis as its new ambassador to the United States and the representative to the Organization of American States. 9 months after coming to office, the Grenada government finally overhauled its diplomatic corps, Tuesday announcing the appointment of nearly a dozen ambassadors. Francis has been a resident in St. Kitts for many years, working with the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. A former Grenada public servant, he's also a lay preacher. A long-serving foreign affairs officer who one time had served as an ambassador to Cuba, Rafael Joseph, is to be the Grenada ambassador to the European Union, based in Brussels. Shea Phillip, who has served in recent years in the Foreign Diplomatic Service, will be the new ambassador to the United Nations. Among the diplomats named are 3 at-large representatives who were pivotal in the National Democratic Congress campaign of last year. Dr. Trevor Lane, said to be a key contributor to the last campaign and who is based in the United States, has been named as a global health ambassador. Orlando Romaine and Andrea St. Bernard, also executive members of the ruling party, have been appointed special envoys. A well-known Calypsonian who had his big break as a performer there in the 1980s will return to Port of Spain as a consular. He's Elwin McQuilkin, who most people know as Black Wizard, a former Grenada Calypso monarch.
We now bring you these international reports.
Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen hit a defiant note on Wednesday after China threatened retaliation if she met House Speaker Kevin McCarthy while transiting through the United States this week. She spoke at a Taiwan airport before leaving for the US.
Taiwan's determination to go global will only grow stronger. Taiwan is the world's Taiwan. Leading Taiwan to the world and bringing the world into Taiwan is an important goal of our administration. External pressure will not hinder our determination to go to the world. We're calm and confident, will neither yield nor provoke.
China, which claims democratically ruled Taiwan as its own territory, has repeatedly warned US officials not to meet Tsai, viewing it as support for the island's desire to be seen as a separate country. A spokesperson for China's Taiwan Affairs Office, Zhu Fenglian, told reporters that it would be, quote, another provocation that seriously violates the One China principle, harms China's sovereignty and territorial identity, if Tsai were to have contact with McCarthy, adding that China, quote, firmly opposes this and will definitely take measures to resolutely fight back. China staged war games around Taiwan last August, when then US House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taipei. Taiwan's armed forces have said they are keeping watch for any Chinese moves while Tsai is abroad. Tsai is going to Guatemala and Belize, transiting through New York first and Los Angeles on the way back. While not officially confirmed, she is expected to meet McCarthy while in California. Taiwanese presidents routinely pass through the United States while visiting diplomatic allies in Latin America, the Caribbean and the Pacific, which, although not official visits, are often used by both sides for high-level meetings.
Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov is meeting his Iranian counterpart Hossein Amir Abdullahian in Moscow. The nuclear deal between Iran and the West is likely to be on the agenda. They're also expected to discuss Syria, Afghanistan, Ukraine, and issues related to the Caspian Sea region. Let's go to Moscow and speak to journalist Yulia Shapovalova. And what do Russians want from this meeting?
Well, actually, the meeting is still underway, and we are waiting for the news conference. We'll be able to hear from both ministers and from their delegation members what's been discussed. And we know that the delegations also discussed the we're going to discuss the Iranian nuclear program in terms of the joint comprehensive plan of actions, as well as the state of affairs in various countries of the Caucasus and Caspian regions. So the Russian-Iranian cooperation is growing, of course, and it is quite obvious as both countries are sanctioned by other states. But believe it or not, if you get to the streets of Russian cities and ask people who is a friend of Russia nowadays, the people will answer you, it is Iran. So many things are going on a daily basis between the two countries here, like economy, energy, tourism, etc. Russia has always been Tehran's ally, supporting it for years. So nowadays the trade turnover is growing, and this is something everyone here endorses. So the relations are developing, and Russia's relatively quickly finding a way to overcome its isolation and other problems caused by sanctions.
OK, thank you so much for the update. That is Yulia Shapovalova for us in Moscow. We're going to go to Ali Hashim, who joins us from Tehran. And Iran and Russia seem to be coordinating closely on many, many different issues. What's the view from Tehran?
Well, to Tehran, Russia is one of the main allies right now. Let's say one of the countries that Iran is having very good relations with. There is a lot of intersections with respect to interests. So maybe China, Russia, these are the main partners of Iran, mainly after the sanctions. Iran is looking forward to get out, to overcome the isolation after the sanctions. And now with Russia under sanctions, both countries are able to cooperate in different ways. If we go back a few months ago, President Raisi, the president of Iran, visited Russia. President Putin was here also a few months ago. So this is an ongoing operation between the two countries and on different layers, economically, energy-wise, politically and also on the diplomatic side, especially with Russia being part of the 5+1 previously and 4+1 now, the partners of Iran in the nuclear deal. So to Iran, it's really a priority to be in full coordination with Russia and to go maybe a step forward towards signing a strategic alliance or a partnership, which is something that Russian and Iranian officials are expected to talk about.
The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has reacted angrily to a suggestion from President Biden that he should abandon controversial plans for an overhaul of the judiciary. Mr. Netanyahu stressed that as a sovereign country, Israel would make its decisions by the will of its people, not based on pressures from abroad. Speaking before boarding Air Force One, President Biden said he hoped Mr. Netanyahu would try to work out a genuine compromise.
Like many strong supporters of Israel, I'm very concerned. And I'm concerned that they get this straight. They cannot continue down this road. And I've sort of made that clear. Hopefully the Prime Minister will act in a way that he's going to try to work out some genuine compromise, but that remains to be seen.
So how rare is it for the US president to comment on internal policies in other countries? Here's our North America correspondent Peter Bowes.
It is indeed very rare for President Biden, or indeed any US president, senior politician, to get involved in domestic Israeli politics. It's a sensitive area, and up until now, the approach of the White House on this particular issue, the unrest that we've been seeing in Israel, has been very cautious, talking of compromise, as indeed President Biden just in the last few hours has been talking about compromise as well. But that was the line from the White House on Monday when Benjamin Netanyahu said he was effectively putting on hold those, or delaying those plans to change the way the judiciary works in Israel. But certainly President Biden going much further in the last few hours. And rather than talking about compromise, he's saying that he wants Mr. Netanyahu to walk away from those proposals. Actually, a little bit of a confusing message there in terms of whether it's compromise or completely walking away from the policy.
Elon Musk has joined artificial intelligence experts and industry executives worried about AI's impact on society. He is among signatories to an open letter calling for a 6-month pause in developing systems stronger than OpenAI's GPT-4. The letter was issued by the non-profit Future of Life Institute and signed by more than 1,000 people. They've called for a pause in advanced AI development until shared safety rules for it are developed, implemented and audited by independent experts. The letter said powerful AI systems should be developed only once the effects are likely positive and the risk manageable. It listed potential threats from competitive AI systems in the form of economic and political disruptions. Tesla CEO Musk was one of the signatories, along with Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak and researchers at Alphabet-owned DeepMind and other AI heavyweights. The Future of Life Institute is mainly funded by the Musk Foundation, according to the EU's transparency registers. Though Tesla uses artificial intelligence for an autopilot system, Musk has been vocal about his concerns over AI. On Monday, EU police force Europol warned about the potential misuse of the system in cybercrime and disinformation. The UK government also unveiled proposals for an adaptable regulatory framework around AI. Since Microsoft-backed OpenAI launched ChatGPT last year, rivals have moved quickly to develop similar models. OpenAI didn't immediately respond to requests for comment about the letter.
You were listening to the Midday News on WINNFM 98.9. The headlines:
Police investigating sudden death of British visitor.
Callers weigh in on the government's approach to public infrastructure maintenance and repairs. 7 women in Nevis recognized for breaking barriers and closing the gender gap. Concerns continue to mount as 16 people remain missing from vessel that capsized between St. Kitts and Antigua. Internationally, external pressure will not stop Taiwan from engaging with the world. President Tsai Ing-wen said as she left for the United States, hitting a defiant note after China threatened retaliation if she met U.S. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
Thank you for listening.
That was the WINNFM Headline News. The Headline News is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, Carib Brewery, and NHC.
NHC is helping you to pay less in 2023. Having difficulties keeping up to date with your mortgage? Make an appointment to speak with your account manager today and learn how you can pay less. Our refinancing program will give you the opportunity to pay as low as $300 a month. Call us 466-4701 or visit our office at East Park Range. Pay less. Worry less with NHC refinancing program that's designed with you in mind. Offer valid from February 1st to June 30th.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Dalil Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Horsford's Building and Nevis Centers are making lawn and garden easy. Come to Horsford's Building and Nevis Center now and get 25% off store-wide on our entire lawn and garden department. Yes! For the months of February and March, Horsford's Building Center and Nevis Center is making improving your lawn and garden easy with 25% off all garden supplies, garden equipment, garden accessories, including weed eaters, lawnmowers, and much more. Get 25% off all lawn and garden items. Happening now at Horsford's Building Center in St. Kitts and Nevis. Horsford's Building and Nevis Centers, making home improvement easy.
The Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis is now online, providing simple and convenient services to pay your loan anywhere at any time. It begins with you logging on to our website, www.skndb.com. Click the online payment option, select Request Access, input your personal information, and submit payment. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yes, we've made it easier for you to pay your loan anytime, anywhere. The Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis, making a sustained positive difference in your life.
Welcome back to Voices right here on WINFM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining the conversation for today. The phone lines are open and we're welcoming your calls at 466-0989 or 662-0989. That is 466-0989 or 662-0989. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take some more calls. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, my friend Evan.
How are you doing today?
I am good, man. I'm cool. I'm good, man. I'm cool like a fridge.
Awesome. Good to hear.
What about you?
I'm doing good myself, yeah.
Okay, well, once you're doing good, I'm feel happy too. You have any special topic?
Well, this morning we were talking about the crime situation and.
Oh, well, that's where I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Now, what I would like to say and see, a lot of people don't see a lot of things happen. Negative things which is resulted in crime. And some of them just walk away. They don't try to put a solution to it. Talk to who they see doing it. Stand up and call them and say, hello, come here. Bonansi, I see you doing this to Botokumo. And it is wrong. You would not like Botokumo to do what you're doing to him to you. Because the good word is, do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Right.
So why are you doing Botukuma that? Stop it. It is not nice. And I'm saying this. It is high time now. Since I was a little boy, it is high time now that those who want to kill others because of the skin color, that is also wrong and bad. You don't do that. It's the same God make us. And there is no green blood, yellow blood, blue blood, white blood, all blood the same color red. And to those Caucasian people who believe that they could kill black people because they don't like black, when you're gonna hold on a black person and put your knee in the person's neck and keep them there and the person bawling, mother, let me go, come off, and you keep them there till you kill them. That is, they're not doing that there because of the whatever crime the person might do. They're doing it for hatred. And it's time for black people all over the world to rise up against those who are discriminating against black and want to eliminate black off the earth. It's God make us. And also, it is time for black people to stop hating Caucasian. Let us stop hating one another. That is where the crime escalates from. Those who are weak in mind and cannot be guided by their own conscience, they look at other people and they say, okay, they're killing them because of this and that. Are you going to join them? No, we need to done with that. One wall, everybody aiming to reach up to the same God. But we have hundreds of different denominations. So it's time now for everybody just hold one head, do the same thing, admonish people, tell them stop the killing, regardless of what. Done with that.
Right.
We don't want that. Because if one don't stop it, another one going to join and there's going to be two. So I am calling on everybody. Done with this crime thing, it's not sounding good. The year just begin. And look how many we got in St. Kitts. We got one in Nevis and six down here. And it ain't to say it's a box or a slap, kill them, It ain't to say that it's gone. It's not sounding good. And just when Sunday morning we had two. And then Monday night we had another one. Oh my God, yeah, it's black killing black. Nowhere in St. Kitts you could go and say, well, okay, this Caucasian person killed two black. And then look at it. Those who are killing, they don't want to be caught to be killed neither, Because I have known one man kill another black man over in the country Saddlers. And from the time he do that, he jumped in his vehicle and he went all the way down Sunny Point, park it up down Sunny Point. Whether he catch a boat down there or not, that's where they find his vehicle. And up to now, he ain't come back to St. Kitts. Why is he running? Because he feel like what he do, the person, he gonna come back to him? It ain't talking they want, It ain't talking they want. It's stiffer punishment they need. Stiff. Because the kind of punishment what they got around here is they put you in 1840 and the victims relatives have to feed you out of the tax money. And they have pleasure when they don't murder people. Manslaughter is different. So I'm asking them, and those who make the law, lift up the penalty, man. Lift it up. Because the penalty is like you're trying to bust a man in the head with a piece of toilet paper. That ain't gonna work. Let him feel something, and then others will get the message. Devon, thank you very much for listening, man.
And Carla, thank you so much for your contribution to this program. This is Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9 for Wednesday, March 29, 2023. The phone lines are open and we are taking your calls at 466-0989 or 662-0989. That's 466-0989 or 662-0989. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Caller, you are on the air. Good afternoon.
Devon. Yeah, good afternoon, Devon. Let me say this. Black people on a whole today, Devon, we have to be restored. Let me repeat this, Devon. Black people globally have to be restored. Devon, we were interrupted and we were disrupted. Why are we killing ourselves? Your caller just mentioned that, I guess, and we all know he was gearing towards George Floyd, the police officer that knelt on George Floyd's neck. Devon, whether black people are being killed there or here in our space, we have to be restored. Now, how is it that we can't understand that we can get up and shoot down a woman, a teacher at a school, a worker at a school, a female worker at a school, and brothers killing brothers? Devon, we are one people. We are connected by DNA. Now, the caller mentioned stiffer penalty. You remember there was a time, Devon, that, well, maybe you are too young to know this. There was a community that used to raise a child. This was our African culture that came down with us, our forefathers, on the ships. We were a body of people, although we were enslaved, we were a unit where the community raised a child. Now, talking about stiffer penalty. Now, let us look at the European Union. Now they have said that to chastise a child is child cruelty. Child have rights. Children have rights. Now, who gave us these penalties, whether they're slight or who have taken us away from a community that used to raise a child? Because the same people who, when we were chastising our youths as a unit, as a collective, now today they're telling us that you cannot chastise a child because that is child cruelty and childs have rights. And you see what we are adapting to, Devon? When we were a collective and we had our community that used to raise our child, we were perfect. But today, the system that tells us that when you beat a child, you're being cruel to your own child. In America, they take away from families on the child welfare. They implement system that they could take out and they put it in the scriptures, Devon. It is in the scriptures. So who are the God that are giving us all these penalties? A caller on a different station mentioned that God says God gave the laws and then he gave judgment in punishment. Well, aren't the same judgment and punishment being taken away and applied unto us by other race? The European Union is not, the United Nations and the European Union, are they telling us that if we chastise a child, that is child cruelty? You see how far we are falling from our culture and adapting to another race in this same misery, Devon. I hope you're following me. Because when people are talking that we must dance a yard before we dance abroad, we are a people globally. What happens there, happen here, it affect all of us. Now, I have said, Devon, all who have shed blood, the day of reckoning is going to come. Now, I am asking and I'm calling on us as a people first. Donald Trump said America first. I am saying black people who was interrupted and disrupted, we must be restored first, Devon. Because if you go down in history, when they cut up our continent, They are the one who impose borders on us, and it have worked for them. They are the one who enslaved us, and it has worked for them. So let us unite. Let us unite. Yes, put down the gun, because killing was not a part of us. We rule this planet, Devon, for centuries. We rule it with love and harmony, without weapons of death. They have mastered the art of war, and that's why they have their weapons of death, Devon. How we get into our space? Well, we're going to have to fix this. Because those who have mastered the art of war cannot, let me repeat, those who have mastered the art of war cannot be for peace. The scripture tells us that the meek shall inherit the earth. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Devon, that is us. Because their age of wickedness has passed. We are the meek, and we are going to fix it, Devon. Now, fixing it is not the finality, because we are winning now, but our people are still sleeping. Because in as much as we have technology, we also have distraction in technology, and our people are fast asleep still, Devon. And that is why the scripture says, my people perish for lack of knowledge, because we are not applying what is useful for our own future. Are you following me, Devon?
I'm here, caller, yeah.
All right, Devon, thank you for hearing me.
All right, caller, and thank you so much for your contribution to this program. This is Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. The phone lines are open, and we're taking your calls at 466-0989 or 662-0989. That's 466-0989 or 662-0989. It is just a few minutes before the 1 o'clock hour. For those of you who are just joining the conversation, we are on the topic of the murders taking place in the country. Your views and opinions. What can we do as a community to respond to this situation? Call us 466-0989 or at 662-0989. Remember, you can also follow the conversation via our social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Just type in WINNMedia SKN. That is WINNMedia SKN. WINN Media SKN. Voices for March 29, 2022. People are calling for our young men to put down the guns. Put down the guns. Let's head back to the phone lines. We'll take some more calls. Caller, you are on the air. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Devon, and greetings once more again in the name of Jesus Christ. He who saves his elect, his chosen sinners from their sins and from hell, and Jesus who is the second person of the eternal Trinity. Now, first of all, I would like to say that where the crime situation is concerned, like all other situations, they are all the results of us disobeying the Bible. As a people and as individuals, as countries, as institutions, as we exist in all areas of life, disobeying the word of God in all areas of life. This is what brings all of these evil consequences and results onto us, including crime. And the only way to deal with crime is to apply and enforce the Bible. And first of all, on ourselves, and secondly, on the land, because only the Bible has all of the answers and solutions to all of our situations and issues in life, including crime. And I would like to say, it is very interesting because when you read the Bible, and as the Bible speaks about us doing wrong, including committing crimes, the Bible never mentions or stress on, well, I shouldn't say it never mentioned, but it never stressed on the instrument or weapon that a person used to commit the crime, to blame for the crime. And that we should make such instruments illegal and that sort of stuff. The Bible never does that. The Bible lays 100% of the blame on the person or persons that commit the crime are crimes. But instead, we have let Satan deceive us and put emphasis on the instruments, especially guns, because we don't do it so much when these same crimes are committed by machetes and knives and other instruments. We seem to have a special thing for guns and blaming guns, when the Bible never ever blamed the instrument. It always blamed the person or persons involved in the crime. As a matter of fact, the first murder that was done in the Bible where Cain killed Abel, we don't even know what instrument he used, because the Bible didn't get caught up in what the instrument was. It get caught up in the Bible blamed the person and make issue of the person and not what instrument or weapon the person used. But when we go contrary to the Bible and we focus on the instrument or weapon and not on the person entirely, and how to deal with the person biblically, and how to apply the Bible in these situations, but instead focus on the weapons, we miss the Bible way of doing things. We miss the Bible way of solving our issues. We miss the Bible way of dealing with our issues. And because of that, the end result will only be worse and worse to our own destruction, ruin, and peril. And therefore we ignore and disobey the Bible to our own peril, destruction, and ruin. So I'd like to say once again, let's get back, apply the Bible, enforce the Bible, first of all on ourselves as individuals, and secondly, upon the nation, because that's the only situation. The Bible alone have all of the laws and regulations and statutes to govern us properly and correctly. And lastly, I would like to say, if we die without Jesus Christ, we will end up in hell for all eternity. And the only thing that will save us from hell and from our sin is to repent and believe in Jesus Christ according to the gospel message, in his death, burial, and resurrection. May God bless you and everyone else. Take care.
All right, caller, thank you for your contribution to this program. We'll take a short break to give a shout out to our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation for today.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WIN FM.
Supermarket shoppers understand that convenience matters. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Ample parking and the widest variety matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Clean, spacious aisles and the highest level of customer service all matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, price matters most. We've renewed our commitment to guarantee the lowest prices in the Federation. Why? Because we understand that in this tough economic environment, price matters most. Shop smart. Shop Value Mart, where price matters most. Farms Estate Nevis and Wellington Road, St. Kitts.
Price matters most.
The Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis is now online, providing simple and convenient services to pay your loan anywhere at any time. It begins with you logging on to our website, www.skndb.com. Click the online payment option, select Request Access, input your personal information, and submit payment. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yes, we've made it easier for you to pay your loan anytime, anywhere. The Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis, making a sustained positive difference in your life.
Welcome back to the program. Let's head to the phone lines and we'll take some more calls. Caller, you're on the air. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Let me turn off the radio.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay. Devon?
Yes, caller, go ahead.
Yeah, I respect everybody's opinion. But in the days when Cain killed his brother Abel, there was any gun in existence? None.
Right, yeah.
When Peter chop off Malchus' ear. No gun was in existence. It was only sword. And Jesus tell Peter to put away that sword. When Jesus fed the multitude with 5 loaves and 2 fish, what kind of ammunition did Jesus use to catch the fish? What did he use? A catapult? Nobody know. Nobody know if he had a fish gun, if he had a spear, if he had a fish hook and a line. So the Bible don't have to say what kind of weapon people must use. So because the Bible ain't say anything about gun, those who got war, what they must do? Go with your stone, a catapult, knowledge increase. And that's where gun was invented, because knowledge increase. You can't stay there in Win FM and throw a stone over Nevis. Wrong boy, where you call the place there? Long Point. You can't do that. So man knowledge say, well, okay, I can't throw a stone so far, and over they got a lot of monkey. So that's why they come up with the invention of gun. So the Bible don't have to say what kind of weapon to use in anything. Neither machete, cutlass, pick, ice pick, nothing tall, no knife. Now the Bible talk about. The only weapon the Bible talk about is sword. Okay, my brother Greg? All right, thank you very much.
All right, caller, and thank you for your contribution to this program. This is Voices right here on Win FM 98.9. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls at 466-0989 or 662-0989. That is 466-0989 or 662-0989. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air. Hello, caller. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Yes, good afternoon, Devon. Yeah?
Yes, caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Sorry about that for that delay. Sorry. Yes, I am calling because recent events actually has caused me a great bit of concern. Realizing that these events are occurring one after the other, whether it's by violence or by accident. But before I really forget, I want to extend my sincere condolence, my deepest sympathy, rather, to those families who are left to mourn, who are grieving in regards to the sudden loss of their family, their friends, by way of violence. Also for the families of those who perish at sea. You had a drowning and you had boat that sunk, resulted in the loss of life. And Devon, some months back, when I saw what was happening after the election in Nevis and the chaos that was taking place there, from a spiritual background, I said St. Kitts Nevis is at a crossroad. And like David, I am in the wilderness looking after my sheep. I am here. I heard there would be a meeting with the pastors. I know that they had a day of prayer. But for St. Kitts and Nevis, it's serious. It's serious. You had a government of unity construct that lasted for 7 years. 7 years is completion. However, it ended, unfortunately, it ended. You have the 8th year, it's a new beginning. You have no real opposition of words, but you have the Almighty God, you have our Creator looking over this federation. And it's not the winner who take it all. For the same Creator send the rain and the just and the unjust. Serious time in which we are living. And it takes men with vision. When David saw what was happening to its people, he left his sheep and he went. People felt that he was out of place. He was, nosy. But those who were men of war were running and was afraid. And this is the time. This is the time in the days when the prophet used to walk up to the kings and tell them when judgment is coming. Is anybody saying what this country is facing? I mean, it's a worldwide occurrences. Things are happening worldwide. But you are here locally, and you must know your people and the environment in which we are living. It's serious. I said it publicly. St. Kitts Nevis is at its crossroad, and it was a good idea to have a day of prayer. But you need more than this. Oh, I listen to a radio show, talk show, some on Freedom something, and the host was saying how people are behaving in public office. Not ministers, but ordinary people. This is serious. And all these events that took place doesn't matter in Ghana week yet. It's alarming. It's alarming because unless the Lord keep the country or the city, the security forces watch and wait in vain. Unless the same Lord build the house, they labor in vain that seek to build it. God is looking over St. Kitts Nevis at a time when we are at a new beginning. No opposition of, what I must say, effectiveness. And God had brought us here. And he had brought us here to behave as if the winner take it all. And behave in such a way that he is displeased of us. It's a serious time. And it's a time when we need every one of us, each one of us, to try to be our brother's keeper. That's the important thing about it, To be our brother's keeper. Not when it's convenient to try to victimize somebody, to do somebody something because what? You don't like them? Huh? God is in charge right now. As always, right now, St. Kitts Nevis is at the crossroads. I said it earlier. I don't have no edifice, no big building. Because that's where the problem when Jesus was speaking to his disciples. They were looking at the building, the temple. They were focused on it, the architectural structure, the splendidness of it. And he had to tell them, you see this building? The day is coming when not one stone will be left upon the other. And they were curious. They want to know when, what, and he had to do with his coming. Many of our ministers, some of them gone into real estate, sad. Real estate. At a time like this, when the coming of Christ is so evidently close. Saint Kitts Nevis, I am praying to God, Father in heaven, Creator of heaven and earth, have mercy upon Saint Kitts and Nevis. Have mercy, Lord. Bring your people back to their senses, knowing that you rule, knowing that your mercy endureth forever. Save our country, save our nation. Let the ministers go to the altar and cry out to God for the time, this particular time, it's appear we are not really taking the warning that we should. So, Mr. Devon?
Yeah, Carla.
You there?
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
I am saying we need to come together. Do not believe because you have a dominant government, you must treat one who you don't like badly. This is a new beginning. Another new beginning. God expects us to be wise, to redeem the time, for the time are evil. And when you have evil time, it means that we have to seek God. Seek God in serious ways, not to add evil to evil. The Bible says, render not evil for evil. Vengeance belongs to God, and he surely would repay. And for those young men who want to go and kill, I am pleading with you to really left vengeance to God. Look how you're killing yourself. Some of you got children, young children, going out. You're going, leaving them, departing without a father. That is not right. So, Devon, we are at a crossroad, but there is hope, for we serve a God of hope. He is our refuge and our strength at every present time, in troubling time like this. But we must seek God honestly. Honestly. And that's why it's important that we pray for our leaders, that they would lead us in godliness, lead us in honesty, lead us in peace, and lead us in quietness. We have to pray for them, because the end result is what would be taking place in such a time like this. Thank you very much, Devon.
And thank you, caller, so much for your contribution to this program. This is Voices right here on WIN FM 98.9. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls at 466-0989. I just want to share with you, for your information's sake, the Office of the Premier, the Nevis Island Administration, wishes to advise the public that Wednesday, April 5th, will be a public holiday on the island of Nevis. So the Deputy Governor General, Her Honor Hailita Liebert, acting on the advice of the Cabinet of the Nevis Island Administration, has declared Wednesday, April 5, 2023, to be a public half holiday on the island of Nevis from 12 noon. This is on the occasion of the 2023 Bank of Nevis International Limited Gulf Insurance Inter-Primary Schools Championship Sports Meet. We'll take a break to acknowledge our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll take some more calls.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
This is your boy, Super Handy Andy, with your Super Handy Andy deals at Hostel's Building Center for the month of March. Mini blinds was $178.43, now $151.67. Flush valve repair kit was $78.61, now just $66.82. Eco tankless water heater was $1846.41, now reduced to $1569.79. Bathroom cabinet saver was $582.62, it's only now just $495.24. Freestanding closet was $554.91, it's now only $471.67. Super handy Andy deals at Hostel's Building Center for the month of March only, making home improvement easy. The Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis is now online, providing simple and convenient services to pay your loan anywhere at any time. It begins with you logging on to our website, www.skndb.com. Click the online payment option, select Request Access, input your personal information, and submit payment. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yes, we've made it easier for you to pay your loan anytime, anywhere. The Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis, making a sustained positive difference in your life.
Welcome back to Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Yes, Devon, it's me again. Now, I'd like to quickly say that when Culture called in and spoke, he actually unknowingly and unintentionally strengthened my point. You see, God never put the blame on weapons. He always put the blame on person. And the mere fact that we don't even know what Cain used to kill Abel with, which was the first murder, shows that God does not place any emphasis on the weapons that was used, but on the person and on the person's heart. Now God, before he created anything, know about guns, and he know about weapons that ain't even invented as yet. And he could have put them all in the Bible if he wanted to. He could have put them all in the Bible because he already knew of them. He already knew what he's going to make to happen all in the future until Christ come back and for all eternity. So God knows everything. And yet he didn't put them in the Bible, which he could have, because the Bible is ultimately from God. The Bible is ultimately the Word of God. And the mere fact that he didn't put these things in the Bible, but rather put the blame on man, shows that the correct way to do things is to stop put the blame on the weapons, stop put the emphasis on the weapons that are used, and put the emphasis and blame on the perpetrators, the people who commit the crime, and deal with them the way the Bible says to deal with them. Now, when Jesus, who is God Almighty, told Peter to put back his sword in its sheath, he didn't tell him to throw it away, and he didn't tell him to destroy it, because there is a time when it is okay and right to use weapons in your self-defense and in defense of others. So Jesus didn't tell him to put it away or to destroy it. He just told him to put it back in his sheath, because this is not the proper time for it. Peter wanted to prevent Jesus Christ from going to the cross in fulfillment of the scriptures, wherein he was to go to die for his chosen sinners, to save them from their sins and from hell. And without Jesus Christ going to the cross, there would have been no salvation for his people, his chosen sinners. And Peter wanted to prevent that with the cross, well, he wanted to prevent Jesus Christ from going to the cross, because he was going against Scripture. So Christ said, no, the Scriptures must be fulfilled. I have to do this. So don't try to get in the way of preventing this from happening. So put back your sword in his sheath. This is not the time for it. This is, you're using it wrongly. This is not the time for the Scripture must be fulfilled. But the fact, like I said, Jesus Christ told him to put it back in the sheath and not to threaten or destroy shows that the sword does have a proper time to be used, even by Christians, in self-defense if necessary. So unless we deal with things the Bible way, we're not going to stop anything. We're just going to make things worse and worse, and things are going to get worse and worse because we're ignoring and disobeying the Bible to our own destruction and peril. And in the end, if you die without Christ, you're going to end up in hell for all eternity. This is what I'm simply saying. The Bible is the only answer and solutions to all of life, to all of our situations, and to all of our problems. There is no other source that has the answers other than the Bible. Okay, thank you.
All right, caller, thank you for your contribution to this program. This is Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9 for Wednesday, March 29, 2023. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. The phone lines are open and we're welcoming your calls at 466-0989 or 662-0989. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll be taking some more calls. Caller, you're on the air. Good afternoon.
Devon. Sorry. Devon, you know, I would like Greg to explain to me, right? Now, Greg, myself, and others, we are all quoting the scriptures. Now, it is true that as to what instrument did Cain use to slew his brother, we don't know. But here we have the same scripture that tells us, thou shalt not kill. You see, the moral of the story is what we need to apply to our lives. We shall not kill. Now, at the same time, the scripture says, thou shalt not kill, but God instructed King Saul to go and kill a nation, from elderly to sucklings. And we know that as much as we would say, the word is escaping me right now, knowledge have increased. But Devon, let us look at all that we have in technology and knowledge that has increased. Because man is still prone to commit that which is against nature, in the sense that we kill, we hate, we steal, but make no mistake, it created you and me. Is it a myth? Is it a God that is in the sky? Because if I was created in the image and likeness of my Creator, then surely, because of disobedience, from what my Creator was. So therefore, my Creator, who was perfect in power, that spoke and things became manifested. And I am Creator. My Creator is me. I am God. I have fallen because I disobeyed. Are you following me, Devon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm following you.
Now, there are many quotes, and all of us are quoting. Let us apply the morals behind these stories. Because, again, I said to you, Devon, today we have a race of people who have mastered the art of war. And they are at war today. Devon, earlier, when we had a year ago with Ukraine and Russia, I stated it was the Third World War. Well, it's not really a world war. And if you go back to the first two that we all know in history as World War I and World War II, was not World War either. Because this was a race of people that was fighting against themselves. I'm referring to Europeans. They have mastered the art of war, Devon. And as the scripture says, the meek shall inherit the earth. I repeat this again to Gregory and to the elder down in Hertfordshire. The meek shall inherit the earth, because those who have plagued the earth with their weapons of death and destruction, those who are against nature, in global warming, it is okay for them to pollute, but for other developing countries, no. Devon, you know who I'm referring to, because it is plain as day to know who these people are. The earth itself is fighting against them because they have stifled this living entity that we call earth with their concrete jungles and their pollution and their global warming. Devon, we got to wake up, because all that they impose upon this planet, they are so against nature. And for those of us who are going to say they came from us, well, I know better. Because in John epistle, it says, if you are the seed of my father, you knows not wickedness. But if you are the seed of this enemy, like Cain and his father, you are not my child. And it says, in the Garden of Eden, I shall put enmity between the seed of the woman and the seed of the serpent. I would love for Gregory and the elder down in Hertfordshire, and even Mrs. Henry, to help explain what this means. The seed of the serpent and the seed of the woman are referring to the children of their offspring. So therefore, all of us couldn't come from the same father. Even though my interpretation, Devon,
Right.
Satan had sex with Eve and brought forth the seed of the serpent. Thank you for hearing me.
And thank you, Caller, for your contribution to this program. This has been another edition of Voices right here on WinFM 98.9. Let me say thank you so much for your contribution to the program. Until next time, you guys stay safe. Don't text and drive, and don't drink and drive. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and God's speed. Bye-bye.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9